What's up, guys? Welcome to another live session. Today is March the 2nd, 2020, and we're back at again for a market insight session. I'm RP Forex. I hope you guys had a great weekend. You enjoyed those profits responsibly, and you didn't catch anything. That's the important part. So, in today's session, we're going to be covering a lot of fundamentals just because this week is NFP week, and coronavirus has gone so bad that at this point, a lot of nations are coming together and basically saying that we're going to have to cut interest rates all worldwide to kind of support and keep the economy afloat. And so we'll be discussing that as well. Hopefully the music's not too loud. Turn it down, bitch. So yeah, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about insights for NFP week, and obviously we'll do some technicals as well. But it is a Monday. Other than pound yen, there's no real setup I'm really too eager to enter into. So let me just start off by saying good morning to everyone in the portal. Hope everyone was well. For everyone on YouTube, I'm acknowledging you guys are there. I will answer your questions as the live goes on. And at the end of the session, I'll be giving a 50% off coupon code for our trading room. Also, if you haven't joined our Discord, the link is in the description of this live. Make sure you do. We have tons of people sharing stuff in here already on a Monday morning. It's awesome. I even got some of the content for today's live just from some of these postings. So all my chart work and all of our signal providers are there. So if you're a paying member or if you're a free member, you can join the Discord and start trading with like-minded traders. So the link is in the description, and it will also be in the description after the live in case you're too busy getting down these levels. So let's start off with this article from investing.com. Wall Street opens higher as market sees guaranteed rate cuts. Now, if we just go through this real quickly, the Dow rose 270 points, 1.07%, etc. But the Bank of Japan and Bank of England promised action to ensure financial market stability, joining Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell for his comments that rates could come down to evolving risks. There's a 100% chance that the Fed will cut rates by 50 basis points as at its March meeting, according to investing.com. Fed monitor rate tool. Goldman Sachs on Sunday predicted another 50-point cut on top of March coming in the second quarter. As confidence of lower rates surged, bond yields plunged on the shorter end of the curve, 2-hour treasury. So, because of coronavirus and the slump that the world economy is in, because you have to understand China is a major exporter of tons of goods, Apple, Samsung, you name it, they produce it. And when they're struggling, everyone's going to be struggling. Japan, Australia, South Korea, Europe, Canada, US. It's a worldwide slump. It's a bear market. And so this might cause a bit of a short-term weakness in the dollar, actually in most pairs. But we are bullish on the dollar, especially for 2020. So this coronavirus might derail our initial plans of logging the dollar, especially, longing the dollar so the euro can drop to 1.05. Aussie dollar can make new lower lows, pound dollar. But we didn't really expect coronavirus. I don't think anyone expected coronavirus to get this worse. And there's a nice article that we're going to look at right now before we take a look at Trump's comments, or his tweets rather. It's from Washington Post. I'll post this in the Discord, but basically the death toll has passed 3,000, and over the weekend, 66 deaths have happened in Iran as a total. 2 people in Washington, D.C. have died. So if we go through this, you can see South Korea announced 599 new cases with a total 4,335 with 22 deaths. Over the weekend, 2 deaths were confirmed in D.C., the capital. Following heavy loss on the global markets, global stocks recovered Monday as by comments by Bank of Japan chief, basically saying a coordinated global response from central banks. The turnaround comes amid fears that prolonged economic disruption due to the virus could trigger a worldwide recession. So basically, it's all the banks coming together. He's like, hey, we gotta cut rates. We gotta make sure we keep the economic spending up, so we don't have cause a worldwide recession, and that's what they're gonna do. So. Continue reading this. Officials are expecting more cases in other countries. It is no longer possible to absolutely prevent new cases coming in. Canada got a bunch of new cases, and it's mainly coming from Iran. It's a lot of people have traveled to Iran on vacation, came back and got it. So obviously certain countries are better at containing than others, but we're gonna have to base everything we discussed up until today about the dollar, the safe havens, is probably gonna have to be thrown out the window because now you have a global approach to this event. So that's something to look out for. And then we have NFP week. So let's just take a look at the forecast before we start looking at technicals. So today is pretty quiet. We did have some ISM manufacturing PMI that came out less than forecasted. That's obvious due to China's manufacturing being slumped. We have some Aussie stuff later in the day. I do think this is going to be a rate cut. So for our Aussie dollar swing short holders, including myself, this should be a good trade right here to hold. As you can see, the forecast is 0.50%. when the previous month was 0.75%. So they are going to be cutting rates. Tuesday is very quiet, surprisingly quiet. That's awesome. Wednesday is going to be pretty chaotic, at least for the CAD. We have ADP obviously, and it is forecasted to be lower than the previous month. That's not a surprise. And then you can see Canada is probably going to keep its rate the same. So definitely to watch out for. So we may be looking at taking advantage of Canadian bulls this week. Then we have Thursday, Bank of Canada speech, and then obviously Carney speaking, and then Aussie retail sales, which I think might be lower than this just because of the coronavirus. And then Friday we have NFP. Okay, so let's see the numbers here. The main event, average hourly earnings is gonna be up by a percent, 0.1%. NFP is going to be down just about 30k jobs. And then unemployment rate should be lower. It's forecast to be lower. That's cool. So this week will basically tell us how the quarter is going to end. We're right at month 3 of the quarter. And yeah, it's pretty chaotic. But let's take a look at the charts now, guys. So pound yen, we talked about shorting this on Friday. We caught the first short from above here. Made a nice 120 or so, and I'm thinking of continuing short all the way down to here. The weekly is a pretty clean bearish closure that I do want to take advantage of. As you can see here, a clear break of this weekly support. Just completely shattered it, and this is another swing trade we can take. Just with the global economy, we're gonna have to do what they give us, and not really force it, but I mean, this kind of swing trade doesn't really come too often for pound yen. 2.42, and this stop loss is being really conservative. Actually, you can make it even all the way down here. 3.5 R to R setup. You could enter now. Actually, go to the 1 hour. I've entered just before the last session, but this is phenomenal. If you want to measure the pips, if we enter somewhere down here, that's over 1,022 pips from this trade. So pretty awesome, right? So let's take out the 4 hour before you rush into anything. So on the 4 hour, I actually got into a pretty bad entry. I just went off my MetaTrader 4 chart and now my TradingView chart. But the best entry is obviously a bearish closure below this horizontal ray. As you can see here, I entered here, and I'm kind of going to get stuck maybe until our retrace back up. Not the smartest decision for for my trading week, but I don't think it's going to make a full-out recovery. You just look to the left, make sure. Oh yeah, I could have probably waited to get a better entry, but essentially guys, we're just waiting for a bearish closure below 137.473. I can put an alert. It has to be on the 4 hour, guys. It is a pound pair, and these things are very volatile, and you don't want to get faked out. But I'm gonna pop this back to the daily, and just gonna give you guys the levels. Right, so entry's gonna be somewhere down here as shown, and take profits are gonna be every kind of wick support area. So this would be a nice TP1. See previous support, resistance. The next one will be right down here, and then the last one before we hit our final target all the way down here. So for a swing trade, we have 1, 2, 3, and then 4 take profit levels. when the signal is called, and if it is called, I will send the specific levels on Discord and Telegram. Obviously, to you guys, so you guys get a specific idea of the trade. But this is the trade idea we were focused on last week, and it still looks valid. So the safe havens should dominate during this time of chaos, and the pound is still trying to figure itself post Brexit. So this is a trade idea we'll take advantage of. Let's take a look at Aussie dollar, and also take a peek at the chats real quick. A lot of people, go to Iran on vacation. A lot of Persians. I didn't know that many people went either, but I guess they like going. Morning, guys. So people have some pair recommendations that came in. Euro pound, we'll take a look. Gold, we'll take a look for sure. Alright, so let's take a look at Aussie dollar. We were in some drawdown until like an hour ago, and this thing started just plunging again. So you can see here our swing trade, and last week we were halfway to our final take profit of swing trade, and this was a trade we carried over through the weekend because we just wanted to hold it out. A very small position, but nonetheless a trade we were ready to hold for weeks to come. And so the recent price action, Friday's market closure did have a nice little rally, relief rally, even on the Sunday's market open on the 1st. But since then, we've kind of come back to reality, and we haven't cleared this previous high. So I just think this was a nice relief push as the markets react to basically the Bank of Japan and England coming together and deciding to cut rates, etc. But this thing should continue going downwards. We're still in profit, so if your running position is in profit, close it out. I think my running position is just at entry right now, but I'm still expecting this thing to continue going downwards, so we'll continue to hold it. Price action still looks good on the daily time frame. Ideally, this candle should close bearish, be squeezed all the way back down here, and then we can continue our road to all the way down to 0.62500. So that looks good. I don't really want to touch euro, just because conflicting reports. The euro is only having a rally because of the coronavirus, and the dollar is being seen as less of a safe haven. So we'll look at euro pound. Look at pair recommendations today. I think the majors are a bit too what do I say? A bit too involved with everything. We have NFP this week, and then we have coronavirus, and then I'd rather not get into all that. The less variables you have to control for, the better. So euro pound, let's take a look. Damn, this had a really nice swing long. And this was back way in the end of 2019 when we drew this stuff up. But this blue support zone, it has come in clutch. Back to 2016, it has multiple rallies from here. In 2019 we had a rally from here, and then 2020, basically if you went long from here, you would have been in good shape. I guess let's see where it could head next. I probably do see it coming around to 0.87688. A lot of wicks through this area. Resistance, good support. So maybe 60 pips until we see some sort of reaction. At that point, we can either take shorts or we can probably take longs. I'm thinking long will be the trade in question, just because the pound is still trying to find itself post-Brexit. So, and in that case, we go long. The target's very simple. Target these wicks up here. And all we're going to wait for is maybe a daily closure above this level to go long. Because in the past, when we did have a candle closure above this level, we did make rallies. So, obviously, that'll be the simple trade idea to take. So I guess for the next few days or a week, just wait for the 60 pips to arrive. Wait for it to touch that resistance and see what happens. If you do get a rejection, I'd be cautious to go short, just because we do have some secondary support. You see these wicks come all the way down here, This is 3 occurrences, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7 occurrences in this secondary support. So what could honestly happen is we make a push to this resistance. We have a short, miniature short that could get people trapped, and then this thing continues its way up, right? Alternatively, you can just have this just continue to happen. It just closes above and it continues its way up. Two scenarios, but I'll put an alert just so we are kind of notified when we get there. We do have 60 pips to go, and as you guys know, Euro Pound tends to move pretty slow, as it's only 0.87 per pip right now, but definitely a nice trade idea. And if you caught a swing long from here, you're doing in good money. Gold. So gold is in a bit of a tough place right now, as we discussed in Friday's session. The weekly closure last week was very bearish, and it might put a pause in our overall travel, our little trip to 1800. We went halfway there, so you can't really complain. We went from 1500 to 1650. We're around 150 pips away from getting the rest of that long, but on the weekly time frame, this weekly candle closure isn't out of the ordinary. We did have a candle like that in the past before we had a rally, and you can even look at past examples where for gold you have actually a few weeks of selling off before some rallies kick in. So that's just how gold moves. You have a candle similar in size like this, and then you have a huge rally again, a candle similar like this, a huge rally again. So gold, depending on what the current fundamental sentiment is, will react accordingly, right? It's a commodity, it's a safe haven, it's not backed by a lot of currencies, so it's going to be a major thing that's going to be affected. You saw when US and Iran had their mini World War III, this thing was just dropping and skyrocketing every few days. So I think 1800 is still on the table, but it is looking dicey, especially if we do get closure somewhere down here. Currently, today's daily candle closure would probably tell the tale. If this thing can close back up bullish and continue to rally up, then forget about it. But if it starts to close below 1540, somewhere down in these areas, then I will be looking to take intraday shorts, even though it's against our long-term target. But coronavirus and the coronavirus should help gold, but at the same time, when a bunch of nations come together to kind of prevent an economic collapse, that kind of takes away the fuel that's fueling gold, right? So definitely a complicated scenario, and there's no intraday trade setup right now. If you look at the 4-hour, it's a mess. It looks more so of a short, to actually continue going down lower. But the only problem is you have this resistance here that has acted as support at 1588, which is 40 pips away. So honestly, if you're very risk seeking and not aversive, and you're dying for a setup on gold, or you're a gold trader and you want my confirmation, technically if you get a bearish closure below 1588, right where mouse is, a bearish closure somewhere down here, you could target a short back down to 1550, right? A nice trading range we have in between those two levels. You could take that, and you can see over the weekend, gold, or actually on Friday, gold actually closed all the way as low as 1560. So it did make an attempt to fill out that trading range when it got that bearish closure below this level. But that's one idea. I don't think that would be the most high probable setup, but who knows with gold right now. I'm gonna wait for maybe Australian session and see what happens with the Aussie dollar, because it's also a major factor in gold. But I'll put an alert. If the bearish closure is very bearish, then I'm gonna be ignorant and not take the trade. But we'll probably go maybe 40% of our regular position, just because we're counter trend trading pretty hard. So that's gold. What's up? What's next? Pound dollar. We'll look at pound dollar, euro pound. Let's go. Cool. My eye is watery. What the hell is going on? I believe on Friday we wanted a short pound as well. Ooh, looks good. Was this chart or was it this chart? Yes, it was the other chart. So let's go. Let's go to the daily. Let's see. Yep. So this is the same idea we've had for some time now, but basically for pound dollar, we are waiting for a bearish closure below 1.26900. As you can see on the daily time frame, we have multiple confluences for the short idea. First off, we're breaking this really strong resistance slash support. We had a break of it, we had a retest rejection, we had a push back up support. And we retested that resistance again, this blue zone, until we had a huge rejection outside of the support. And the support is a historical support for pound dollar. Let's go to the monthly to see the trade idea. So you can see on the monthly time frame a huge historical support for pound dollar, dating back to 2016 all the way through 2020. And if you look at the monthly, if you ask any beginner trader, they'd most likely say this is a sell signal. It looks like it's gonna go lower, and sometimes you just have to start you have to start looking at charts like a beginner. Don't really overcomplicate it. Just see what the charts are telling you, not what your bias is telling you. And just from the fundamentals, this does look like a bear. And we did clear that last support to take this lower. And so all we're going to be waiting for is this weekly support. Now that the monthly support has been cleared, we're going to wait for the weekly support to be cleared just to be safe, to take this short idea. Going back to the 4-hour. So on the 4-hour, you can kind of see we're creating this miniature support on the 4-hour time frame. And I actually like entering trades this way, where you have a huge push down and you have some support created. Any breach of support is going to confirm our initial move down. And so maybe on the daily time frame, you could enter actually this week and target 1.26900 as our first target, because this daily closure is pretty damn bearish. And if we were to get a 4-hour closure below this horizontal array, we can definitely target 1.26925 as an intraday level. So squeeze this down and give the trade idea out. This in here, and this is a measure of the potential pips. It's entry down here, and we're expected to go. Let's see, where are we expected to go? All the way to create historic lows, maybe 1.20757. $700 pips. Not bad at all. So let's go ahead and plot the idea. And all chart work will be sent on Discord and Telegram, so don't worry about that. And boom, that's not bad. So 4.0 R2R, and this stop loss is being very conservative. But you guys know how the pound moves. This thing can move crazy. You can have deep retraces before it falls off. But this is fine as well. So this is the trade idea we'll be watching out for, and this will go in line with our pound yen short. So I'll probably put an alert maybe a bit closer to that horizontal array. And you guys will be the first to know when I enter this trade. So closing down. Boom, and specific take profits will be sent in. But first off, I probably see this is a nice take profit. Previous support, nice resistance with this wick. And then probably here. Right, so you can see entry, take profit 1, take profit 2, take profit 3, take profit 4, take profit 5. The last two will be probably swing trade take profits. But yeah, let me actually change the song. I don't like it. Don't like it one bit. Alright, so someone asked for oil. I'll give that a look. So let me save this trade idea and send this through. For people that are just joining, our Discord join link is in the description. If you want to talk with a bunch of members and see my trade setups and everything else, click the link in the description. Also, at the end of the session, I'll be giving away a 50% coupon code. So make sure you stay tuned. So US oil, let's take a look. Oh, damn. That is a bullish closure. So much so that I would love to swing long this. Damn. So we had a pretty solid swing trade from for U.S. oil last week, which our mini runner should have been stopped out by now. Let me see the price. Yeah, so my runner got stopped out on this exact hourly candle. So it was a 10% runner, but yeah. So U.S. oil, we had a nice swing to this next support range, and we could have a long now. I mean, we did clear this previous high, so I mean, with the with the current kind of grouping together and cooperation among world economies to keep the economy afloat is probably gonna be a good thing for U.S. oil to take it back up, because oil is not profitable at prices this low. We know that, and you can see the blue support zone we've drewn is actually pretty strong. I mean, multiple rallies from here, and damn, I would not mind going long on this. At the same time, if coronavirus continues to get worse, no matter if brotherhood or cooperation is gonna keep it afloat. It's gonna be that simple. Airplanes will be taking off, people won't be traveling. So we are really counter trend trading here. If you look at the daily time frame, we had multiple days of selling off oil. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days of straight bears. So it was due for a retrace, but this is a classic textbook bullish engulfing candle. You can see here the body absolutely engulfs the entire body of this one. So in terms of this textbook setup, this is a textbook setup to go long, but it's definitely a risky setup, especially for something like oil, a commodity. But shoot, I mean, even the past four candles, the 4-hour candle was a nice hammer to go long. I mean, we might have to go long on this, guys, boys and girls. We might have to go long on this. So what we'll do is, just to be safe and not to really get jumped into the hype, but really we're gonna have to clear this previous swing low. Okay, if we clear it and we close bullish, then I wouldn't mind putting maybe a 40% of our regular position size to go long, have our stop loss just below the previous low, and take this back up to maybe to a 49 or 50. That'd be a nice psychological level. 50. So something like this, right? 2.9 R to R, not bad at all. And we'll go maybe 40% of our regular position, just because we're counter trend trading heavy, not even against the technicals, but also against the fundamentals. So I think that's what I see for oil. So I'm gonna put an alert maybe somewhere here at 47.04, crossing up, and we'll see what happens. Our stop loss will be around 200 pips. So it's definitely not for smaller accounts. On a one lot, if you make that 0.40, you technically only have around a 50 pip stop loss. So that's not bad at all. So I think that's most of the setups out of the way. Just check everyone on portal. Someone asked for Euro Yen. Yeah, OPEC meeting is this week. Yeah, that's definitely important. That's me important for the Aussie, and it's the Euro Yen. Let's take a look. These are old charts. There we go. Clean chart. Nice. So Euro Yen. Let's see. I mean, look at today's daily candle, man. That's crazy. That is ridiculous. Today's daily. I mean, look at Friday's daily candle. This is Friday's daily candle, and this is today's daily candle. What is going on with the markets, man? There is a long, intraday long. I think the entry might have passed just because this thing is rocketing, but there's an intraday log, maybe to 121.056, maybe 60 to 50 pips away. I think the entry for a long has passed. Let me just see the R to R. Well, actually, it's still there. Actually, that's not bad. Actually, 2.0. Shoot, I might enter this. It is not bad, ladies and gentlemen. This is not a bad trade to take. Let's see. You have a 50 pip top, take profit. 20 pip stop. That's pretty good. It's a 30 pip stop. It is around, 30 pip stop. And the payoff is 50. So with a 4 hour. I mean, it's not bad at all. It's not bad at all. Shoot. It's a pretty good trading range we have here. I mean, you can see it's been fulfilled many times. I'm trying to look into my third eye and see what my gut tells me. A third eye comes in clutch. I think, what is it? It's 11:37. These are the trials and tribulations of being a trader. There's a lot of thought that goes into entering a trade. Let's see. Yeah, why not? For whoever asked, why not give it a go ahead and enter? And you know what? Just to have this as a collateral in case it doesn't go all the way. Maybe have 120.716 as a take profit level. Okay, so the final target will be 121.000. Okay, take profit 1 will be 1.20.716. Okay, so go ahead and enter. We'll give this a go. I mean, the stop loss is pretty tight, and the stop loss is 120.192, and give it a go, guys. I'll enter after the session. But for those in the session, go ahead and enter, and let's see how this thing plays out. Okay, so I think that is a good setup to enter. What was the trade that we can enter right now? None. We were just waiting for pound yen. Let me just quickly recap that. I entered pound yen a bit prematurely, but for you guys, basically, that's not the chart. For pound yen, just wait for a bearish closure below 137. 137.900. Alright, wait for a bearish closure below 137.900 to enter. Look at US oil. So another alert. This is the second time in a week that US oil has activated during this session. But yeah, wait for a bearish closure below 1.37900 to enter short for pound yen. And don't worry, I'll send all of this stuff on trading on Telegram and Discord, so you guys can take a look there. Let's take a look at US oil, since this thing wants us to enter long so bad. It wants to enter. This wants us to enter every trade. Oh my days! Look at this thing. Okay, I'll wait for the hourly closure just so I don't get faked out. I'm not buying this. I don't know why, but we'll see. But this thing is moving and trucking. I'll put another alert since the first one got tagged. But yeah, so if you guys are watching free on the YouTube, these setups, when I do enter, and if I do enter, are sent only to our paid members. So if you're looking to get in on when I actually enter the trades, the signals, and etc., and the heart of the live session, which is Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, now's your chance to get 50% off Here's this coupon code which I'm going to give you guys. It's called First50. This will give you 50% off your first month in our Forex trading room. All you have to do is go to our website. This link will be in the description below, forexlens.com/forex-trading-room, and click get full access. Fill out the form. It takes 2 minutes to fill out, and then when you click next, you'll use this coupon code First50. That is a 0, not an O. You get 50% off your first month. It will only be $48.50 to get all my live sessions and 5 signal providers and full access to our Discord. We can talk about trades with other traders and see all my chart work and all the other providers as well. So First50, guys, make sure you join and you take advantage of that offer. Patience does pay. That is very true, Jared. So I'm not in no rush to enter a trade. It's only Monday, and we have a huge week full of fundamentals. There's no point of rushing in. Last week was amazing, 660 pips. So let's try to have a great week again, guys. Let's try to make more pips and not give back the pips we've made from the market. So for the free members, make sure you take advantage of the offer. Otherwise, I'll see you on Friday, which is another free session. If you're still on the fence, join our Discord, which is in the description below. You can check it out and see what we're all about.